What's going on? It is Black Friday, and we are doing our annual Black Friday backpacking trip. This year we got Dragon, Shadow, Panda. Actually, it's only me and you have done every year, every backpacking trip. Yeah, we're the only two that have made it every year so far. We are on the AT, and we are doing from 309 down to Port Clinton. We're going to do it over 3 days. It's going to be a lot of fun. So about half of it I've done. Once you get down towards just past Hawk Mountain, but it's a good hike, and the views on the second day are going to be really good. So, and probably today too. There's supposed to be a couple vistas that we're going to go across, but a lot of ridge hiking today, and a bunch of shelters we're going to pass. At least 3. So that's pretty good for 36
one
miles.
will have lunch at.
Yeah, a lunch shelter and then 2 sleeping shelters. But I think we all got hammocks, right?
Yep.
Everybody's got a hammock.
Yeah, all hammocks for the strip.
And it's gonna be, I don't know, it's
60.
60. I doubt it's 60 right now. It's probably 35, I'd say. Feels like 36.
Yeah,
and
sounds
it's
about right.
Not gonna get any warmer.
You know what I want to
It's gonna drop
next?
Yeah,
down to maybe
pocket.
19 for a
Oh,
little.
you want them easy access.
Cool.
But
Where they at?
we're gonna get
Well,
ourselves
the
geared
road
up.
from
We got
the
cross
front.
309 and we're gonna hit the trail. Oh, we're a little over 2 miles in. We're at our first road crossing. And we got this marker here for Schuylkill Township. And then that's Lehigh Township, or Lehigh County. Lehigh County, Lynn Township. Schuylkill County, West Penn Township. Nice forest road here. We've been pretty much on a ridge. There's been a couple little climbs and descents. Nice parking area here. And this right here is probably the rockiest spot we've seen so far. I know we do have a couple like rock fields, roller fields to go through. But most of what we've been doing, you can see up ahead of me there, the Shadow and Dragon are. It's been a old logging road. It's been pretty nice. Yeah, that's basically what we've had for 90% of the day so far. Well, for probably 1.1 miles or 2.1 miles at 2.2. So we are moving along pretty good. We're almost 4 miles, and we are at, I think we should be at the Allentown shelter. It's close to it.
So spring that way, shelter that way.
How far down is this? I mean,
How far was the shelter?
There's a path from the shelter to the spring now.
Yeah. Okay. There should be. That's what the 501 was. Like, I took like a long way around to get to the spring, and I realized I could have just like hiked down this other.
yeah, what was the one we did with John? Where it's the same way.
Yeah.
Like the trail to the spring just paralleled the trail to the shelter. All right, well, we're gonna go up to the shelter. At least have a snack break. And then perhaps go down and grab water. This depends on how far the spring is from there. Now there's a trail there. Takes you to the spring, but we think there's another trail up by the shelter. I'm good on water. I can go a little ways, but I don't know what our next chance for water is. But if I gotta drop the pack and go down, that's fine. Alright, you can see that. Alright, we made it to Allentown Shelter. It's got a couple bunks. It's got a table on either side. 1935, 1997. I wonder if it was rebuilt in 97. Doesn't look that old, and concrete doesn't look like 1935. Let's go and take a look. Checkerboard. Bunk. Bunk. It's a pretty nice little shelter. Some left water here. And at least this time of year, there's a little bit of a view through the trees. And then there's a privy over that way. All right. Well, we looked at the upcoming water situations, and this is about 0.2 miles down. Might have to go a little bit, might be a little steep, but the next water source is, I think it's Dan's Spring. And we don't know if it's steep or not, but it's 0.7 to the spring and then 0.7 back. So I'd rather do, even if it's harder, I'd rather do 0.4 than over 1.5 miles. So we'll go see. Hopefully this is running. So just almost exactly 0.2 miles down at the spring. Looks like it's running pretty good up in there, if I can't get in there. I'll probably scoop from down in here. As long as I don't step in the water, I'll be good. I put the pipe back into the water source, put a rock on top of it to keep it down. It's not flowing great, but it's better than trying to get it out of the leafy, silty little sink right there. Could keep going down the hill, get better flow, but I don't feel like climbing back up any further. I'm not too far out of the shelter, and come across a first real rock feature here. And this is a big pile of rocks, but I know we got a couple of these that we're going to go through today and tomorrow. It's Pennsylvania, so you're not going to get away without rocks, especially in the northeast. The northern sections of AT, much rock here. That's very cool though. Well, we missed it. Unbalanced shadow fell at Balance Rock. Jesus. It's really rocky. And it's, what, your trekking pole get stuck?
I don't know what happened.
You tripped on it?
Moved and the pole got stuck. Like a sack of potatoes.
Yeah. At least you didn't go like face first.
Yeah, that wouldn't be good.
But out there, we're looking straight across to, that's Pinnacle. We'll be out there tomorrow. So we got to cross that valley. And then that is where we make the U-turn. So we come all the way across that ridge, Shadow. Yeah. From right to left. Make the turn at Pinnacle and then go all the way back the other way.
But
the car's like directly across from us here.
that ridge is like legit old service road.
Yeah.
Like not really rocky. It's just like dirt road.
Yeah, until you get to Pinnacle and Pulpit are a little bit rocky, but
Yeah. Once you leave Pinnacle and you start heading down the Pulpit, that's where you start hitting rock gardens and bouldery stuff like this.
it's a nice view here. I'm gonna enjoy this for a little bit. So that's what we're coming up to. Well, I'll get you going up. You scared? Ah.
This is it. Easy after this.
Oh, you still recording?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you stopped. I was like, I'll record you going up. Whoa, sliding. Let's see.
Not as bad as it initially seemed. But cutting over there is definitely the way you want to go.
Yeah, I'm actually following the blaze.
Oh, I didn't even see that blaze.
How grippy is this?
Here's what we proud of you.
Well, this is pretty cool. It's a little hard to do with 2 poles in one hand and the phone in the other, but not impossible.
Oh boy.
That's pretty cool. I don't know if that has a name. It should. That's awesome. We are at Dan's Pulpit. That's a pretty good look across. I don't know what is that over there? All the way out there. Just
Where? There?
yeah. I don't know what we're looking at over there. Across Pennsylvania.
Yep, pretty much.
It's farm country.
It's cool how the field surrounds that farm.
Yeah. But look at these
Just
trees.
like
Don't
a
these trees
swirly-
look like they're getting ready to bloom? Like they're getting ready to leave? They look like they're getting green. It's November. You just lost your leaves.
That's weird.
It's warm. It's
like
it was almost 50 a while ago. It's like 47. Phone said it got up to 52. It's weird. Because it wasn't supposed to get out of the 40s. So.
Yeah, I'm sitting up.
Look how slow that car's moving down there.
What?
Down in the field. There's like a tractor or a car or a truck or something coming down to that road. We are leaving the ridge. We're at almost 10 miles through the day. We just come across this whole ridge and are heading down to the valley now. So we got about a mile or so, maybe a little bit over a mile to where the shelter is. And it is all, we get all the way down to the bottom of the valley that you can see out there. So we got a little bit of descent. Luckily, it does not seem to be as rocky over here, but that could change at any second. It was pretty rocky coming across in any second. But got a descent and then down to the shelter. We are at 11 miles. We're almost to shelter. We just passed a campsite that looked pretty cool, but I don't know if there's 4 spots for hammocks there. The trees look a little gnarly, so we're gonna push on to the shelter area. See what we got. I mean, it's not even 3 o'clock yet, so we got time. We gotta push a little bit further.
That keeps up.
Sorry. I thought I had it.
All right, well, it's not quite 6:30 and we are already in our hammocks. Been a weird time since we found camp. We made it down to the shelter. We went back to like the tent area to set up our hammocks. We got our hammocks basically set up, and a neighbor came over who lives nearby, and he's like, we get some reckless hunters over here, I guess, or possibility of it. And tomorrow's the first day of deer. So we start looking for somewhere else to set up, and there's not a lot of hammock options over there. So as Dragon and I were looking, he came over and goes, look, I got a solution. He's like, I own a piece of property right near here. You guys can go camp over there. We won't be hunting over there. So very nice of him to offer that and give us a spot where we can camp, because the only other option was to get back on the trail and hike until we found another camp. Now, I know where Adam and I camped, which is a few miles from here, so we could have done that, but we really didn't want to. So we're set up here with permission on private property, and we'll get up early and head back towards the shelter area in the morning to have our breakfast, and we'll vacate this property. And it was very nice. He came over to check on us too, make sure we were okay, and you know, we found a spot to set up, so it was very nice of him. So it's early. I've got the moon. The moon's up. I'm gonna watch the moon and the stars for a little bit. Maybe download a video, even though I have service. I'll watch that and then drift off to sleep, and we'll see you guys in the morning. I'm pretty interested to see how this is going to go.
Low battery.
Maybe. So I probably lost that file. Good morning. Day 2. We just left, I think I called it Eckley last night. The Eckville shelter. We just did the little road walk back up to the AT. Beautiful morning. I didn't really show camp at all. Just because that was private property. We got up about 5, went into the shelter, made our breakfast. I think I got down like 25 last night. Wasn't too bad. Dragon and I stayed out and camped. Shadow and Panda made use of the shelter while we were down there having our dinner. The caretaker came out and he's like, you guys can use the shelter if you want to. So since Shadow is just now learning winter camping, and maybe learning you're not a big fan of it.
Yeah, it's not too fun.
Yeah, he decided to do the shelter. So we were gonna go through Pinnacle, Pulpit, and then all the way around out to the AT. But we think we're gonna cut off the AT before we get to Pinnacle, and then cut the Pinnacle and Pulpit section out and get back on the AT and head back to Port Clinton today instead of doing another night. So all I need is about another mile to complete this entire section, and then I don't care, so it'll be good. But we're gonna start a climb, keep our body temperatures up, and get going. So we got a little bit of a climb, and we're gonna climb all the way up that ridge. But pretty soon we should run into the old forest road Adam and I were on. Then it's forest road for quite a while. And you can hear in the background, it is opening day of rifle season. Gorgeous morning. Yeah, we could hear, there's chickens out there. I was hearing chickens all night.
Yeah.
And then some owls, maybe a coyote. It's hard to tell with those chickens. It's really hard to tell.
Yeah, the one time someone said about a coyote, but it was totally a chicken.
Yeah, or geese.
Oh,
Flying
yeah,
over.
It was definitely geese.
Yeah, it was geese. Shadow thinks coyotes fly. See, do you hear this? Do you hear those coyotes? You know, one's flying over. Yeah, they're the dangerous ones.
They've evolved to broaden their range of prey.
Yeah, they're migrating south through the winter. But yeah, this is,
Think about switching these out for my other vlog.
I can see home. Hey, you never know.
you might be able to. At night, you might be able to see the towers. So we're not far from where Adam and I turned around. Really not far. If we had gone a little bit further, we could have camped right down there, right along the water, or there's a campsite right up there. And we made it work. We didn't have to climb in the morning, but beautiful spot. So this is where Adam and I got our water. So this right here completes my AT section from the Jersey border all the way down to 501. Connected all of it. But there's a campsite where I don't know how we missed that campsite over there. And then the other one's right up there. Unless they weren't there when we were, I mean, that was a couple years ago. Nice little spot though. almost up the top of our climb. There's a little bit more to go, but it really levels off after this little campsite. Yeah, no, it's nice because it's mostly forest road, so
Yeah,
it's not too.
Now this is getting hot.
Yeah, it's not too complicated.
More of a risk of overheating than anything else.
Yeah, but I am looking forward to getting to a spot where that sun is. But this is funny. This is one of the best signs for spring. I want to go down here. So it's a spring, but it's a spring. That's awesome. So we are currently off the AT, and this is where we're shortening our trip. Instead of going all the way out to Pinnacle and then around the Pulpit Rock and then down to the shelter by the reservoir, we are taking the trail that takes us straight to the reservoir. So it cuts off about maybe 5 miles or so out and around down to the reservoir parking lot, and then we get back on the AT because it kind of does a big U-turn, comes back. So we're just cutting out the loop part. Now, if we were going to stay out for 3 days, we would have done that, gone to the Pinnacle, gone to the Pulpit, and then stayed at the shelter at the bottom. But the nice thing about trails like this, where you got bailouts, you can make your own loop. But this is a nice little section hike here. This is a nice area to hike through. And if you're just out here to do the Pinnacle and Pulpit, this is a good way to do like a 5 or 6 mile loop.
Not even 10:30 yet.
No, we're already halfway. Yeah, it might be a pushing an 11-mile day. I didn't realize how long that was. Longer than the other side.
I didn't know that was good.
So we made it down to the reservoir. We'll be back down to the parking lot pretty soon of, well, the reservoir parking. Then we still got, it's like 5 miles from there back over to where we're parked at Port Clinton. But one of the other reasons that's probably a good idea that we're cutting the day short is, like, the sky's blue behind me. As you look towards the sun, you can see it's getting progressively hazier. There is weather that is forecast to come in tomorrow, and every time it kind of pops up and it disappears, it pops up and it disappears. Every time it pops up a little bit earlier, and it might be in the 40s in rain, and you don't mess with that, because if it doesn't get into the 40s, it's in the 30s in rain. That's just yeah, it's no fun. Well, we stopped by the reservoir for lunch. There's so many birds down here. It's like spring. It's really weird. It's not, it's chillier than spring. But since we're cutting a day short, I ate so much food for lunch. Just lighten up my pack as much as possible. Got about 6 miles to get back to Port Clinton. And it's a lot less forest road than we've had up to this point. So it'll be a little bit slower going, but what I remember, this wasn't that bad.
Let's put them on the west. Let's look at it.
So if you are heading south on the AT and you're heading towards Port Clinton, when you get to Pocahontas Springs, the AT makes a hard right and heads up the hill. Don't do what we just did. We didn't see the Blaze Blue Trail. We went maybe 0.2 of a mile, and it just kind of ends. But yeah, you get sidetracked easy there. Just keep your eyes peeled. All right, we just finished the descent coming down. There were people falling left and right. It was all leaves. It was really, really, really slippery. I was using both trekking poles. I was sliding. I almost fell a couple times. Luckily I didn't. Now I feel like I want to sneeze. Luckily I didn't, but there's people in front of us that are falling. Shadow almost went off the trail. Dragon slid. It was it was like skiing on leaves. But now we got this. At the underpass, which could be a makeshift shelter.
Yep.
But you got to put up with that train all the time.
At least sounds so cool going over.
Yeah, it's very peaceful if you slept down here. Yeah. Some paintings. Yeah. Well, the AT map is still there.
No fires on the bridge.
No fires under the bridge. Wah, wah. All right, we're gonna go down, follow the river for a couple minutes, then back to the car. That's it. Almost 11.5 miles for today. About 23 for 2 days. And that completes a big chunk of the AT for me. Get back behind the cars here. Whew. Worst part's the stairs. Stairs again. Oh, we all survived. Mostly. Fun trip. Those leaves were brutal, but it was good. That's gonna do it for this one. Hope you guys enjoyed it. See you next.